And we're live. How's it going, everyone? Joe here with Adams Polishes, and we wanted to go live really quick just to talk a little bit about the anniversary sale and kind of give you a little bit of explanation behind the design of the anniversary labels. I put them together personally, so I just wanted to talk about it just for a little bit, maybe jump into a couple stories. And this is kind of the whole collection here, minus one of the shirts, which has like all the logos on it. But also talk about a giveaway that we have going on right now as well, which is something you're not going to want to miss out on. Because during this month, we're doing 4 separate giveaways, and they're all huge. Like, they're not, hey, here's some Adams products. They're like big giveaways from other companies that we work with that very much have high value to them. So I'll talk about those here in just a little bit, and we'll let people kind of jump on right now. I do want to say for the anniversary sale right now, it is 25% off the whole month. So really great opportunity to stock up on Adams Polishes products, as well as our limited edition bottles for the 25th anniversary. I think probably a lot of you guys have seen online some of the content we've been putting out, but you can see some of Adam's reactions to some of this stuff, and just him talking about the brand from the last 25 years. I can't take credit for doing video stuff with him in 2012, but he's been at this for a really long time, and detailing alone, he's been doing it since 1980. So, talking about 45 years of essentially detailing in his life, which is more than half of his life. And now he even has a whole new thing where he bought a car wash, transformed the whole thing into a full hand wash system that he uses the same techniques that we teach you guys with the 2-bucket wash and the foam to neutralize the water and all the stuff. So this detailing stuff for Adam is never going to leave his life. It's absolutely 100% part of his life for the rest of eternity. So I just think it's really cool, and I think for me, he's such an inspiration as a human being, as to, number one, his will to push through the hard times. He's been through a lot at Adams Polishes, from sleeping in a warehouse, building a shower in it so he could stay there, to the really, really low times, but he always persevered through it. So I just see him as an inspiration. I mean, he truly is the American story. Grew up in California, didn't come from a lot, and just through his own willpower, made this whole thing work and made it to kind of what it is today for everybody that's watching here. So I'll start jumping into the design. So the box did this little, I don't know if you would call it like a doodle, but it's kind of like a hand-drawn pattern that we have Adams Polishes exposed. Every other letter is made up of letters of Adams Polishes, just in like random orders. And then, we wanted to create somewhat of a, I don't know if it would be a logo, kind of, I guess you could call like an icon or logo for the 25-year anniversary. And just stumbled upon a cool font, so it was like, oh, I kind of like that. So we're just going to piece that together and put it into a square Adams Polishes anniversary. So that came out like really cool, and able to put it on different shirts and designs. The same repeat that you see on the box, we also put onto a shirt as well. So the shirt has the repeat essentially copied from the box, but you have the Adams A logo down here at the bottom. And then the front has kind of the handwritten Adams Polishes on the front. So just like a little bit more relaxed style. I think this is something cool to show off the brand. I mean, I think it's more a play off the colors than anything. The black shirt with the white letters and the red letters kind of coincides with the logo. So, and I remember Adam, like, he told me about this logo that's back here. That was the logo that happened probably 2 iterations before the Circle A logo. He really wanted to make it look like the Ford logo. So if you look at the Ford logo and you look at this one, it's almost like identical. He also wanted to use red because he thought of it as a power color, and I like it because Tiger Woods wears red on Sunday. But he wanted it to be like very digestible for the car community. So He doesn't have anything against Chevy. We're actually a licensed product through Corvette and Camaro, and all of our products are sold in every GM dealership. That includes GMC, Cadillac, Chevrolet, Buick. So if you can go to the local dealerships in their parts department and buy our products there. And you can also go on their accessories website and get our products there as well. So nothing in Chevy, I think the oval Ford logo just kind of stood out to him. And along with that, on the box, you get all the different logos. So you have that logo there, the oval logo here. On this side, you have the original Adams logo, which he had a Corvette on there. He actually owns a Corvette. It's I want to say it's a C1 Corvette. I think it's a C1. It's like a 64, I think, that he built with his dad. It's kind of like a Frankenstein of a Corvette. It has the chassis of an 05 Corvette with the body of a 64 Corvette, and then it has an LS, I think it's an LS motor in there with a 6-speed manual transmission. That car is really fun to drive. He actually let me drive it. It's convertible, so for him and I, we're a little bit taller. We're like I'm 6'1", Adam's 6 foot. I think he's 6'1", but you kind of look over the windshield because they're just not very tall. So you kind of feel like one of those old school race car drivers when you're driving it. But that's why he has the Corvette on there, because him and his dad built one. So has that original logo. He also on here said polishes, towels, and protectants. So he's gone through a lot of different iterations over the years. So that was the first logo. Then the second logo would have been the oval logo like this, which again, I just kind of talked about it. Then the third logo, I actually created this. I'll be honest, I was really tired of trying to use this on graphics because I started doing media here in 2014. It was really hard to like put on things as a watermark or, you know, magazine ads, things like that. And so I was like, we really need to like create an icon, kind of like, you have like the Nike logo that has the Nike swoosh with Nike underneath it, but then you can just use the swoosh alone. It's very recognizable. So I was like, I really want like an icon. So I built the original Circle A logo like this. We actually used it for quite a while, probably for about a year. And then we actually met with a designer. His name's Ian Goolsby. He actually used to work here, but we worked with him a lot. Adam drew out on a napkin. We were in a restaurant in Louisville, Colorado. He drew it out on a napkin, came back the next morning, and Ian had the design for it. And that's the Circle A logo that you see now. So he kind of created this kind of Americana flair on the outside with the lines, almost like a grill on a car. But it really came out amazing. And now, you know, it's that icon that kind of everybody knows. And then, you know, moving on from that, obviously graphene logo, everybody knows what that is. You know, I think with the graphene, we just wanted to play off sort of that like silver, kind of creates like a strong vibe, almost like metal. It's like for steel, it's really strong. Not to say that graphene is metal, but yeah, so the box design. And then one of my favorite parts was actually reached out to Adam to say, can you just give me like a 1-sentence, 2-sentence little note to tell people. And so he said, thank you for your loyalty and support over the past 25 years. We celebrate you, the customer who created a community filled with passion and kindness. Thank you. And then we got his signature. I'm using this on like checks and stuff now, but no, it was really cool that he could. It's funny, like you think with somebody like Adam, if you don't know who Adam is, you've never met him, he's one of the most generous people, not only with like just who he is as a person, he's very generous with his time. So like when you're at an event and you meet him, he'll give you time to talk about, hear stories from yourself. He'll provide you some stories. He'll teach you a lot of different things, but he's just a generous person, you know, all around. And I think for me, when I reached out to him, it's been very easy for him to say, you know, oh man, it's been wonderful. Like, just hope you have a shiny day, whatever. Right? But he put it back on the customer because it's very, very important to him. And we have some more content coming out, but I will say I was shooting video with him at Barrett Jackson this year about the 25 years. And he said, you know, the interesting thing about what he did when he started the company was he immediately started making instructional DVDs. So if you were a first-time purchaser, he would put a DVD in your order. I actually have some sitting on my desk, but he put this instructional DVD in your order, and each chapter of the DVD was the detailing process. So starting from the beginning and getting to the end. So, you know, starting with cleaning your wheels and tires, then your engine, then your exhaust tips, then get into washing, drying, so on and so forth. And he said, when we were shooting video, he said, you know, the one thing that really helped Adams Polishes as a business was he taught everybody the quote unquote secrets of what professionals know, which is cleaning your wheels and tires first so you don't get water spots when you're washing, you know, or before you start washing, which creates more work in the long run. But these little processes he taught everybody that essentially the customer ended up becoming the expert, and then they started giving him direct feedback about his products. So then he started acting on that feedback. So if they said, hey, your buttery wax is just really hard to wipe off if it dries in the direct sun, he would go back to the chemist and say, hey, we need to reformulate buttery wax because we need it to be easier to wipe off. Because if we scrub to wipe it off, it scratches. So we need something that just, with the weight of your hand, it comes off. And so he started taking the feedback from the customers, reformulate, and then his products were you know, being upgraded all the time because he wanted to make sure it was right for the customer. So it's really, he was saying how valuable his customer base is to him, because not only is it a personal relationship if he sees you at events and things like that, he treats it like that, but he's like, they're all like my experts. They're all telling me what I should be doing, what I shouldn't be doing. And so it's really interesting for him to hear him talk about that, and not so much about, you know, how great he is or how great Adams Polishes is. It was more about, you know, reaching out and talking to the customer. So I thought that was really cool. So moving on to the labels. Okay, so in previous years we've done anniversary labels. They're more design based, so it's kind of like creating a design and, you know, making it look cool. I actually think one of my favorite designs, I want to say, is either 2020 or 2021, where we essentially, if you bought one bottle, you got a second one. And one was sort of, it had one was like for you, for like a 20th anniversary. The second one was to give to somebody else, and you could write a message on the back, which it said, to the person who. And on that one, that was more dedicated to like you thanking a specific person that's had an impact on your life. So, you know, like, thank you to the person who always took me to my sports practices, or thank you to the person who introduced me to detailing. Thank you to the person who gave me my first business loan. And so that was one of my favorite, because it felt kind of like we were very thankful, but again, thankful for the customer. And it gave us a chance to give something to the customer that they could give to somebody that was meaningful to them. So that was one of my favorite, but still it was like design based. And in this one, I really wanted to think about, over the last 25 years, you really think about the memories and things that have happened, not only to us here at Adams Polishes of what we remember, but also the customer, right? And so what I did is we launched 4 different products, and each one is sort of a significant era in the life of Adams Polishes. So the first bottle, which is the detail spray, if you look on the back, it has the years of which the photos were drawn from. So this is from the year 2000 to 2011. And the reason why it's such a long stretch, I mean, it's 11 years, is there just wasn't a lot of media created during that time. There was a little bit, but a lot of what Adam was doing was selling his products at a flea market or a swap meet, but also going to events. So it was more like in-person, reaching out to people and going to car shows, meeting people in person, selling the product. And then from there, it was like word of mouth to everybody else. So there wasn't like an in-house photographer taking pictures all the time. And so, you know, some of the pictures on the bottle are, Adam's signature. Anytime he signs something, he puts a smiley face on there. You have one of the original instructional DVDs here. You have a picture of him and JV from, I think it's from Fox Sunday Football. They did an infomercial together. I want to say it was in 2005 or 2006. Adam was being acquired by Clorox, the big, you know, like Clorox bleach. they were trying to get Adams Polishes to make them the next big car cleaning product. So they were going to acquire him, and so they funded a infomercial. They aired it on a Saturday and a Sunday. They made a ton of money. It was kind of a proof of concept, and Clorox was set to buy them. And then what ended up happening is the CEO had a health scare, so he retired because he wanted to spend time with his family. They brought in a new CEO, and he said, cancel all the acquisitions, none. We have one acquisition that's going to do great for us, and it was Burt's Bees. Everyone, I'm sure, is familiar with Burt's Bees. So anytime you see Burt's Bees on the shelf, just think that could have been Adams Polishes through Clorox, but it wasn't. So the acquisition fell off, or they had a falling out, and he just kept moving forward. And Adam really says, like, he learned a lot about business and his customer during that time, like who really wanted to buy his product. So it gave him some more focus on like where to put his energy into and who he wanted to talk to. So that's a really cool memory. And by the way, that infomercial is on our YouTube. So if you want to watch the whole thing, it's actually, I mean, it is well put together, and it's really fun to watch because you get to see Adam with JBs doing product demonstration very, very much in the infomercial format, you know, ShamWow style. Actually, this picture down here I really like. Adam, he had this Bronco. I can't remember what year this is from, but he had bought this Bronco. This thing was perfect. That was his baby. When I first started working at Adams Polishes, that Bronco was like it for him. And he used to drive it all the time. To start it, you had to push the gas 3 times, wait 2 seconds, and then turn the key and it would start. If you didn't do that, it wouldn't start. And he would yell at you for that. Like if you tried to start it right, he'd be like, what are you doing? You gotta hit the gas 3 times. And then wait 2 seconds. So like, okay, man, chill out. But he got to a point with the business, he had to sell that because he needed funds. So he sold it to a guy in New York. And as of recent, I want to say middle of last year, he bought it back from the guy. So he has that Bronco back with him now, which I think is really cool. And by the way, Adam's really into buying cars. He drives them for 3 months, and then he sells them on Bring a Trailer. So if you go on to Bring a Trailer, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with this, but Bring a Trailer is one of the coolest websites. I actually, every morning I wake up, it's right around 6, it's either 6:30, 6:35, or 6:37, it hits my inbox. You click on it, you can see all the daily listings on Bring a Trailer, but you can search Adams Polishes. I think it's all one word. And it's Adam himself. He buys and sells cars all the time on there. So I always track and see what he's doing and see how much money he's making. But another one on this side, it's kind of hard to see, it got cut off a little bit, dirt shiny stuff. So this is very, very important. This is essentially what Adams Polishes was before Adams Polishes. It was a super premium car cleaning products. It was about 6 products only. And Adam used to buy this at the local Porsche dealership in his hometown, San Juan Capistrano. And he used to sell this product at a swap meet with a guy named Dave Herbert, which Adam calls him Dur Dave. And they tried to buy the distributor out because that was essentially what Adam was going to sell. And they said no. So he said, you know what, screw this, I'm going to make my own thing. And that's when he started Adams Polishes. So when I look at like all of this stuff, there's a lot of really important stuff on here, but like that really is the beginning of what Adams Polishes was, is that thing right there. And then a couple more photos. There's a cool picture of Adam's dad with his sister. Adam's dad bought a Mustang early on in Adam's childhood. He was super, super proud of it. But on this bottle, you're gonna see a lot of the vintage type of stuff, original logo type of stuff. Only $75 for his products. Adam's scratch out. You know, this bottle is really dedicated to the early days. And I'm sure if some of you guys saw, we posted a video on our Instagram, but when I first showed Adam this bottle, he was like speechless when he saw it, and he got very emotional about it. I don't know. I can't tell you what he was thinking, but you know, he's been doing this for so long. It's a part of who he is. I think for him to see it laid out on something like this, it really brought to light the like hard work that he's put into this, and all the people that have come together to really like help propel him forward as a business. So this one's really special, especially for Adam. You know, this is really the beginning. Now, the second bottle is the car shampoo, and what we wanted to do is our chemical manufacturer, B&B Blending, who we're like sister companies with now, they have all of the formulas that they've ever created. So what we did is we put the original car shampoo that Adam ever had them create, which is the cherry scent, which is kind of like, depends on the light you see. It can be pink or red. So this is like the original formula. And this one is getting into more, it's kind of interesting. Like these years is from 2012 to 2017. And these years is still very much, this is like when we first started really like working on our website and becoming more online, I would say, like advertising online, putting more videos online. This is really close to when I started getting involved. I started shooting video as a contractor with a friend of mine for Adam in 2012, early 2012. And then it was like every 3 months he would bring us back out to film more video, and we would film it, I would edit it, and then we would author a DVD for him to put in orders. And then in 2014, at that time I was working at a grocery store as a night manager. Crazy hours. It was like 4:30 to 2 in the morning, and I couldn't do it. I had just my son had just been born, and I was like, I asked Adam. I still have the email on my computer. It is like a novel. It is inappropriately long. And essentially, I could have just said, hey, can I work for you? But instead, I wrote like my life story. And he said, come in the next day. And the next day I went and he hired me on the spot. So that was 2014. But this bottle, you know, out of all of these, I think this bottle probably means the most to me, because this is really like when I first started getting involved and I started understanding how, like, what Adams Polishes was, you know, because I think in my mind, Adams Polishes isn't just a car care company. Like, I think that a lot of people would consider us like a lifestyle brand. I think Adams Polishes really makes people feel a certain way. For me, it raised my standard of like who I am as a human being, but also like how I viewed the world. Before, I never cleaned my car. Maybe took through the drive-through car wash twice a year. And after I started learning more and hanging out with Adam, it was like, oh, I actually need to like really take this kind of serious of like cleaning your car. And then started doing it. And then I started like, well, I got to pick up my clothes. I got to clean my house. I got to do this. I got to do that. So I view the world differently now, just by working here. And during this time is when I really started to realize that. And so there's a lot of cool stuff on here. You know, obviously we can't leave out a 911 Porsche, because that's a lot of our favorite cars here, including the guy holding this camera right here. You know, there's a picture in here. This was like in 2016. It's kind of hard to see, but a little screen grab of a cell phone picture. We did a photo shoot in New York, in the streets of New York. That was one of the coolest things. It was like, you know, I don't know if you call it cobblestone, but it was like the brick streets in the fashion district, and that was a really, really cool memory. There's even like the first kind of iterations of pumpkin spice on this bottle. Some of the early years of pumpkin spice. There's I can't remember what, I want to say it's a 1966 carryall. It's essentially a carryall, a GM carryall is like the first, or Chevy carryall was kind of the first iteration of a Suburban before it became the Suburban. Adam actually had our really, really good friends at Weaver Customs build him this. And it was kind of like a patina carryall. So like the exterior was not polished by any means, but under the hood was perfect. Adam named it Agnes. So it was an acronym AGNS, and he called it All Go No Show. And that's because it was a patina car. So like when we say no show, I mean, it was like, that thing was not going to win any awards for how shiny it was, but it went quick. And we took that on the Hot Rod Power Tour. That was really fun. The AC wasn't working and it was miserable, but it was still really fun. So that bottle was really cool, 2012 and 2017. Then we move on to the third bottle, which is Tire Shine. Tire Shine is very much a staple in our line. This is from 2018 to 2020. Now this bottle for me, this kind of era of Adams Polishes from 2018 to 2020, it's a little 2-year stretch, but I'd say in that 2-year stretch, probably more happened in those 2 years than it did from 2017 to 2000 as far as like brand growth. And when I look at this bottle, I really see the fearlessness of what the brand was at that time. It was very like, hey, let's try something. You know, during this time, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but kind of the hypebeast movement was really like taking off. You had like Supreme, Kith was just kind of getting started. I'm trying to think, Undefeated, even like Untamed. What are some
Antisocial Social Club?
Antisocial Social Club. It was like hypebeast culture was like at its finest, and our marketing director was very, very deep into that culture. Okay, this guy, I'm telling you, Matt Butcher is like, he is hypebeast Henry to the core. Dude. Like he would come in with the sickest shoes, the sickest outfits, and he was so engulfed into that culture that he brought it kind of over to Adams Polishes. And this is when the limited edition type of stuff started to really hit. So you see on this bottle, I mean, it is filled with limited edition. I mean, think about this, you guys, okay? We have the first iteration of graphene, but we have a 4th of July label, but right here, there's Adams Polishes coffee. You know, like no business being in car care, but it was like, you know what? One of our friends owns a coffee shop, so let's just private label some coffee and see what happens. And then it sells out, and we're like, oh my God, we got to figure out something else to sell now. You know, and you have, during this time, I think this is 2018, this is Usama. He's like the male model of Adams Polishes, but he had the bottle drip logo, which was super, super popular. And actually those hoodies, we found the manufacturers of the Kith hoodie, which is like a cut and sew type of hoodie, and we had them make those for us. So those are super premium hoodies, super fun. And then getting into, also I want to say it's 2018 is when we opened the Anaheim store. So during that time, remind me of the RGB or RWB.
RWB Porsches?
What's the guy's name? Why can't I think of it right now?
Akira Nakai.
Akira Nakai. Sorry. I had like a little brain fart right there. Akira Nakai, they built 2 RWB Porsches at the Anaheim store, like right when it first opened. And you could actually go to the store and like watch him go through the process, which was, I didn't get a chance to go do it, but I know still to this day, people go in there and they talk about that all the time. And I mean, Anthony, who runs the Anaheim store, he is an absolute car crazy person. And so I know for him, that experience was like once in a lifetime kind of thing. And it was really fun to see the photos and the videos that came out of that. But this is a shot of in front of the Anaheim store with the purple RWB Porsche that was out front, which, I mean, how cool is that? I mean, just to have an RWB Porsche built, you know, in our vicinity was like insane. K Fletch, I don't know if you guys know Kyle Fletcher, but K Fletch, one of the dopest photographers in the history of the world, plus a really great content creator. And our friends at Champion Porsche, I have his car on here because I had to give him a little bit of a shot. I don't have any, like, he doesn't like being in front of the camera, so I didn't have any photos of him actually, so I had to put his car on there. And then another one that I really like on this bottle is right here. There's a little pink bottle being sprayed with a bunch of rainbow. That's the first iteration of the regular ceramic spray coating. So kind of cool to see that. I remember going through that process. I mean, they brought us that bottle specifically on this label, and we didn't even spray it onto paint. We sprayed it onto a bed liner and sprayed it with water, and we were like, this stuff is magic. And then it was like, let's try it on paint. Let's try it on this, let's try it on that. And then it just, boom, it exploded, and it's become one of our top products because it's so versatile. It's still, the graphene ceramic spray coating is one of my favorite products, not even a question. So this bottle is really cool to see. I see, like I said, a fearlessness in our brand. We were not scared to try anything. Granted, it was a lot of work because we just didn't, we had, like, if you think of a dartboard on the wall right here, we grabbed 100 darts and we threw them like this. And probably 75 of them hit the bullseye, and we had to get them done right then and there. And so it was a very, very it was a, during that time, it was like fast processes, but like doing it really good. And we took a lot of inspiration from fashion brands during that time. You know, this is also when Virgil Abloh was like huge. You know, he had Off-White going, and then he was just getting announced to go and be the fashion designer for Louis Vuitton. And so he was a big inspiration from, and a lot of that work happened up in this room up here. So that's a really cool bottle to look at. Now we get into the last bottle, which is Total Interior Cleaner. I'll say this, probably 2 years ago, this would have been Interior Detailer, but Total Interior Cleaner has become one of the best products for interior in our line. So we're like, it's now taken the lead spot in the limited edition lineup over Interior Detailer. But this is from 2001 to, we put 2025, but mainly 2024, I'd say most of the photos are from. This era, you know, this era for me, I think it's kind of an interesting era. Like, we started to get more technical with our products. Like, graphene really started to hit the ground running. But I think this was like, we grew up a little bit. These eras have been like, we've really had to grow up. You know, we were acquired by a big company in Canada. You know, so it's like we've had to like step up our game, and like I said, the fearlessness in this bottle of trying new things, it's like we feel like we are here to stay kind of in this era, but like we want to go even bigger, you know. So this is a really, I think, unique bottle for me because especially for me, because I really started hitting the ground running with being in front of the camera. You know, before I was always behind the camera with Adam being in front of the camera, but he moved away from Colorado into Idaho. And so he actually, the day he left, I saw him off because him and I have a great friendship. And right before he got in his car, he had his wife in the passenger seat, his kids in the back seat. He had a big trailer behind his truck. And he said, "What are we going to do about videos? You going to travel to Idaho every month to shoot video with me?" And I was like, I don't know if I can do that, because I had 2 young kids. And he's like, "Oh, I don't want you to do that." And then he went, "You're in front of the camera now. Love you." And he got in his car and he drove off. And I like, it was like a movie. I like stood there. I'm like, what? Okay, well, that was pretty heavy. So then literally like the next week, we filmed the how to apply a graphene ceramic coating video in Adam's old garage because he hadn't sold his house yet. And we did it on a black Ford Explorer, which was my wife's car. And that was the first video I ever did at Adam's Polishes in front of the camera. So it was kind of like threw me into the fire, but that's the only way. It's like rip the Band-Aid off and let's go, you know? So this is a big growth time for me being in front of the camera, but also I think for us, you know, this is when we're more heavily involved with Barrett-Jackson. You know, we at Barrett-Jackson, we have a booth there near the staging lanes, but we have teams of detailers going throughout not every, but a lot of the lot numbers where all the cars are parked, doing full-on detailing. And when I say full-on detailing, I'm saying like they have generators where they're fully paint correcting cars and waxing them. And they also do daily wipe downs 3 times a day, so morning, afternoon, and evening. So I think this year it was over 400 cars every morning, every afternoon, every evening. So if you go there, you can see our Shine team throughout the show inside the ropes cleaning cars to make them look the best. So when they go across the line, they look better than anything you've ever seen. So we take that as a huge sense of pride. And I have to say thank you to our Shine team because they're the ones doing all the hard work. They make us look good as a brand. And, you know, we're very prideful in that because we don't really care about being super front facing. For us, it's how can we value Barrett-Jackson? And I think they feel that value very much so. So I think that's again, like getting involved with big partners like that, that's kind of this era for me. But still some more limited edition products, but really, a lot of memories, I would say, which is, it's crazy to think. I mean, Adam's Polishes, Adam's Polishes to me is just a whole different thing. Adam's Polishes for me, Joe Triguero, has supported my life and my family, so it's given me so much. I know it's given a lot of other people a lot. You know, we have a friend, Greg Rasmussen, in California. He worked a corporate job that he didn't love. He learned all the Adams Polishes processes. He has all the products. He quit his corporate job, and now he has a full-on small business of detailing that he details only classic cars. You know, so I mean, it's given him so much. It's given him freedom. It's given him time. You know, I mean, I've even met kids that are 12 years old that have full-blown detailing businesses that they love doing that. They're making money for themselves, and it could be something that puts them through college, you know? So, you know, I think Adams Polishes to me is so much more than just car cleaning products. You know, I think it's something that helps us all understand like the value that we can bring ourselves, you know, which is you can clean your car at home, but it's so much more than that. You clean your car once and you see the results you get with Adams Polishes, and then you start to see excellence in everything else. What else can I make look better? What else can I clean up? What else can I make better? Maybe I'm not so good. Maybe I need to do some self-care, you know? But Adams Polishes is a very unique brand, and I'm very, very proud to have worked here for a long time. And so I hope you guys really enjoy the anniversary stuff. I hope I probably talk too much, but I hope that gives you a little bit of explanation behind like the thought process of the design on the bottles. And then obviously like the apparel we put, just to go in line with like photos on the bottle, we put photos on a hoodie, which I love how this turned out. You got Charlie on the back here. This was in like 2014 when I took this picture of him, but some really cool stuff on here. Elin over here on the side. So we have like I'm really proud of the stuff we put together. And the one thing I do want to talk about before we jump off is the giveaway we have going on right now. The giveaway that we have going on right now ends on March 10th, and all you have to do is place an order at adamspolishes.com. We are going to select a random order from this last week. It started on March 1st, it ends on March 10th. We are literally gonna take the orders and number them from 1 to however many orders happen in between March 1st and March 10th. Throw it into ChatGPT or Ask Siri, give us a random number between this and this, and whatever random number comes up, that order gets to win a $5,000 gift card to newageproducts.com. Now, New Age Products, they offer garage accessories. So like these cabinets right here. And you probably saw in our giveaway video on Instagram that we installed these at Charlie's house, and we actually filmed a whole process video to that because I think hopefully, I'm not sure when, but we're looking to start selling these through our website in partnership with New Age Products. So we're gonna have a whole installation video and everything, just like we did for the hex lights. But yeah, if you place an order now all the way to March 10th, you will be randomly put into a pool of people to potentially win a $5,000 gift card to New Age Products. And I'm telling you, this place is amazing. Like, they have so many different things. Like, they have the cabinets, but they also have, like, this is one of the things I love. They have the slat wall. So, like, crazy garage organization. Which, I mean, if you win that $5,000, you can probably get cabinets plus a bunch of other stuff. They have shelving that you can get as well. You know, hang shelving from the roof of your garage to like tuck stuff away. They even have flooring as well. If you want wood flooring in your garage, it's not really wood, but it looks like wood. So they have flooring, they have garage fridges, they have stools, they have all kinds of stuff on here. So I think for us it was more intended for the garage cabinets because that's such a huge upgrade for your garage. But yeah, if you put an order in at adamspolishes.com, whether you get this kit, one of the hoodies, you get a graphene ceramic coating kit, anything that you order on adamspolishes.com from now until March 10th, you have a chance to win a $5,000 gift card to newageproducts.com. So make sure you do that. But listen, the giveaways don't stop there. We're gonna keep going too. Every week throughout this month, we're gonna have a new giveaway. So this New Age product giveaway is for the first week of March. The second week, we're gonna have something different. The third week, another thing. And then the last week, you do not wanna miss the last week. I promise you, that's gonna be crazy. So I would just say, stay connected with us here on Instagram or Facebook, TikTok. And then obviously like YouTube, we post some stuff there too. So if you're not signed up for our email list, go sign up for that on our website right now. That will keep you updated on giveaways and different stuff that we have going on. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. A little bit behind the design on the 25th year anniversary. And I think for another part of my intention with this is I want every one of you guys to have a different experience with this. Some of you guys will cherish this bottle or this bottle. You'll have the memories like Adam and myself have had from over the years. So thank you guys for watching, and listen, I hope you win that $5,000 gift card, New Age Products. Put your order in now through March 10th.